G'day guys, how you going? It's Ori here with another video. Now we're just in the PTR at the moment. I'm yet to get into beta hopefully, and this is not Shadowlands, this is the PTR. But what we're doing today is we're looking at the Mistweaver Monk. So we've done previous videos about them, about the talent changes and things like that, also what to expect and what's coming. Now we've kind of got the first look of how they're going. So what we'll do is we'll go through the talent tree, we'll look at the new abilities, and we'll especially look at the new celestial ability that we have as well. So with that said, we'll jump right into it. Looking at the 15 level talent tree, so we've got Mist Wrap, Chi Wave, Chi Birth, still very much all the same, very much will have been for quite some time now. Now at the level 25 tree, so we've got Clarity, Chi Torpedo, and then Tiger's Lust. So this is our movement, this is a movement row. So Clarity, just giving an extra roll. Chi Torpedo, changing it to the Torpedo ability, and then some extra speed afterwards. And then the Tiger's Lust, which is good for us healers, because that means if anyone gets rooted or anything like that, you can cast it on them, and it's sort of like a blessing of freedom from the Holy Paladin. Life Cycle, Spirit of the Crane, and Manatee in the row 30. Life Cycles focuses a bit more on the, well, maybe training a tank if they're taking a huge amount of damage, and that allows you to spend less mana. So reducing it, or your mana cost by Vivify or Enveloping Mist by 25%, depending if you'd cast the other spell, the last cast of your spell. Now, Teachings of the Crane is a good one, especially in the start of the expansion. So it looks to have your Blackout Kick restore 0.65% of your mana. You can also be used in conjunction with your Teachings of the Monastery. So every Tiger Palm you do for three Tiger Palms, it stacks up to 3. So then your Blackout Kick will then hit an extra 3 times, or depending how many stacks. So it's just a good way to get mana back, and especially at the start of expansion where gear's a bit tight and things like that, maybe having to use a bit of the more expensive spells, it does help you to stay active for longer rather than just being, well, I guess useless and out of mana. Now speaking of mana, we got Manatee. So this is a 1.5 minute cooldown, reduces the mana cost of your spells by 50% for 12 seconds. So this can be really good if you know you're about to use a huge amount of mana, and I think that's a lot of what healing is. Healing is about being predictive rather than reactive, trying to catch up. You should know when the big bursts of damage are coming in, and therefore you'll be able to predict what you need to use, how much mana, and then if you can use that just before, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble. Now in the level 35 talent tree, so we've got all of our sort of crowd control CC sort of abilities. So just to note that the Tiger's Tail Sweep, so this one, it doesn't actually give you the ability, you already have that's now baseline. What it does for you is it increases the range of it and reduces its cooldown, so that can be always handy. Ring of Peace is always the same, and Song of Chi-Chi as well. Unfortunately very unused, because the other two are just much better options. 40 being sort of the defensive tree, so we've got the Healing Elixir, Dampen Magic, or Dampen Harm. So nothing has really changed here, they're all the same. Now we go to 45, so we've got the Summon the Jade Serpent. It's always a good spell in our toolkit there. So summons the Jade Serpent, and it just allows you to continue casting a Soothing Mist onto a target that you last cast on, doing a fair bit of healing there for you. It's just a way to help keep one target up that is in trouble. Now Refreshing Jade Wind, now this spell is quite mana intensive, or has been in the past, so this spell can be quite good for those scenarios where everyone's bunched up, and it can push out a lot of healing on your allies there. Of course, we've got the best spell in the game, so we've got Invoke Chi-Chi the Red Crane. So this will replace our current celestial spell, which is Invoke Yulon the Jade Serpent. It's essentially, it's just a stronger version of the Yulon, and it is just a strong cooldown to have. Another benefit of this Invoke Chi-Chi, it actually has a minute less cooldown than the Invoke Yulon. So instead of 3 minutes, it's 2 minutes. Allowing you to cast it a lot more often. Of course, then, you know, in doing so, you trade off your constant healing from either Jade Serpent or your large amount of AoE healing with the Refreshing Jade Wind. So in the last talent row, so we've got Focus Thunder. So this is just giving our Thunder Focus T 2 more charges. So down to our level 50 talent row, so we've got Focus Thunder, so it changes the amount of spells you can use to 2 for the Thunder Focus T. So that can be really strong, especially if you know how to use it, and especially if you use it trying to just get out those renewing mists for you. Upwelling here, so it just basically empowers your Essence font for a certain amount depending on how long you have not used it. But what I want to get to, and what I think will be most interesting, is the Rising Mist talent. So when Mistweavers were conceptualized in Mr. Pandaria, there was a style of play called fist-weaving, in which you'd do damage and you would get healing from it. So this talent perpetuates that old play style of fist-weaving. So any members that have one of your hots on it, any damage that you do will then heal them in turn. Now this will be very interesting to see with the new legendary coming in for the Mistweavers that also supports fist-weaving, as you can see on the screen up in the top right. So I'm very much hoping that for Mistweavers that this style of play is coming back, that you can in fact do damage and then have a substantial amount of healing come from that, rather to what they are now, where their damage is rather subpar and no certain real healing comes from it. Another couple of spells to note. So we now have Expel Harm, so this is just a good heal for us, a self-heal every 15 seconds. It also, I believe, you can cast it while you're casting Soothing Mist, so a nice way to top yourself up and someone else if you have to train healing on them. We also have Touch of Death added as well to instead of just for Windwalkers. Mistweavers are finally getting Touch of Death, so it's just another cooldown for DPS, but certainly something that we can do to help out the group in terms of damage, where previously we have not been able to. Well, thank you very much guys for watching. That's the end of the video there. So I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it or subscribe. Come watch me on Twitch, on twitch.tv/auraparty. I stream there as much as I can. At the moment we haven't really been doing any World of Warcraft content, just because it is so dead, and we've been looking forward to the Shadowlands. So come check us out there, but thank you very much, and leave in the comments what you think about the Mistweaver Monk and how it's going to turn out. Also, do you believe that we will be getting fist-weaving again? See ya.